I'm delighted to be chatting here with Jim Johnson. Jim, hello.
Hello, Penny.
Hi. So, Jim, you are a long-term resident of Hungerford. I believe you've lived in Hungerford now for nearly 50 years.
Yes,
But
that's correct.
you're the most talented person, and one of your main streams of life is you are the most beautiful writer and composer of music and songs. And your musical career dates back to the late 60s, where your first band you set up was with none less than Brian Eno. Is that when you were at college together?
Yes, well, I was thinking of going to Winchester College of Music, which was incorporated with the art college. And that's where I met Brian. I didn't actually end up going there because he was just about to leave.
Okay.
And we formed a band, and we did a tour of a university tour on the university circuit, as you did in those days. And we just then decided to move to London as a whole group, and we add on other people and start up a commune, which
Really?
we set up in Camberwell. And, and then while we were there, I went to Blackheath Conservatoire of Music, and we used to do all sorts of artistic projects. The band didn't actually play together that much because we were all trying to survive and try to earn a living somehow.
Yeah.
And I remember, but because I was at the music college, I was funding myself, so I was getting up really early in the morning and doing cleaning and cleaning in the evenings. So it was...
You were really grafting. Yeah,
yes,
good for
yes.
you.
And I used to cook for everybody. Amazingly, this was a time where there were a lot of dustman strikes, and we had a warehouse just off Liverpool Street, in Wilk Street, and all the rubbish. There were a lot of leather factories around there, and we used to get bags and bags of offcuts of leather, and we used to use that and make things.
Oh.
And also a wonderful market, and I used to pick up at the end of the market. They used to throw out all this sort of squashed tomatoes and the cauliflowers and all the veg was looking a bit limp, and I used to collect it all and feed everybody for nothing. So it was
Well, blimey, these are all sentiments. This make, do and mend mentality is so important, even more so today. So let's fast forward you now, and we find ourselves in this extraordinary time here, and you have been able to use your talents to contribute to the community of Hungerford in such a special way. Through offering sales of one of your songs. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, it's a track I wrote back in about sort of 2004. It's a piece I'd written where the world was in a strange place, and I wanted some sort of a unifying track and piece of music, and it came out as being very sort of anthemic. And because it was a global piece I wanted to write, I called it World Anthem. And I didn't ever release it properly. It was never on general release. I put it up for the 2004 Olympics in Athens, but it was so difficult, the procedure to get the music to the officials, that I gave up on that. But it was picked up by I can't think of the opera singer now. It was oh gosh, my brain. Anyway, it was picked up. Who's the blind opera singer? Can you
Oh,
think of his name?
gosh, no, I can't. But I'm going to secretly Google whilst you're talking here.
Anyway, his management company loved the song, and he had just, unfortunately, it was a bit too late because he had just chosen all the songs for his album. But it did spur me on to think, well, maybe this has some legs, and but I didn't. I was busy at the time in other directions, so it didn't ever get released. But I did have copies pressed up, which were all sold.
Mm.
And when this horrible virus started, I'm shielding my wife and one of my daughters because my wife's very poorly. I'm the sort of person who likes to get stuck in to things, and because I couldn't physically go and help around the town, I thought, well, maybe if I have some copies of World Anthem pressed up, I could sell those and contribute the profits towards people who are in need in Hungerford. I wanted to keep it local because I just felt the NHS were being provided for from many other artists and fundraising, and I wanted to keep it local. So that's what I did. I had some copies pressed up and started selling them.
Brilliant.
So
so you very kindly let us use this as the theme tune of the video of Hungerford giving thanks recently. But people can. The important thing is to let people know how they can buy their own copy of the song. So and the copies are £5.
yes, yeah, £5 each. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll post where people can get them from yourself and from Geordie Taylor, who runs the self-isolation network in Hungerford, as well as from Tesco's and Christian Alba Butchers.
Yes, that's correct.
That's right, isn't it? Lovely. So you're in a situation where you are not able to leave your house because you're living with people who are very vulnerable?
Yes, that's correct, yeah. I mean, obviously I can sort of leave, but I can't really be in touch with
you could go for a walk, but you wouldn't want to go to the supermarket?
No, I can't go to the supermarket.
And are you getting support then from people who are bringing you what you need?
Yes, bless you. I'm getting wonderful support from the isolation team, in actual fact, and various friends who are very supportive. So I've been very lucky. So all the medication that Moina and Emma need is fetched from the chemist, and all our provisions are brought in.
Good.
So yes, I'm very fortunate.
Good. And how are you keeping your spirits up? You don't feel too lonely? Do you feel connected?
No, fortunately, we all get on very well. Even though my wife's seriously poorly, we managed to have a laugh, and we've got to have a beautiful garden, which I'm so grateful for. And I have my music room where I can lose myself and to have a little bit of respite and just go off into my own little world and write and just play. So
good. Well, please keep writing, keep playing, because what you create is beautiful and it's so good for all our souls at the moment. Could you share just a couple of lines of the lyrics of this song for people who might not be familiar with it?
Yes, of course. So it's, let's stand together, all nations of the world. Strive for peace and harmony. In love, we are all one. Our differences make all our strengths. Forgive and forget the past. March forward together. Create heaven on earth. And that's the lyric.
So, I mean, there's just so, wonderful sentiments for any crisis, but particularly, this one as well, unfortunately. So I hope people are listening to you and people making the right decisions that need to be made. So, and hopefully this will all end, and we'll come out the other end in one piece. But thank you so much, Jim, for your time and for your contribution to the fundraising in Hungerford through this wonderful way.
It was an absolute pleasure.